Hi guys! So today actually marks the first day in my new art lesson plan. Lately I feel like I haven't really been progressing in my art journey, and so I really wanted to motivate myself by giving myself a clear plan of stuff that I wanted to work on and learn. So in May we're actually doing landscape stuff, so forests, seascapes, etc. For the first week, we're going to be doing stuff related to the sky, mostly because I am obsessed with clouds and sunsets, and I just have no idea how to paint them or draw them, so that's what we're going to be working on. I do have like a rough outline of what each week is going to look like. So as you can see, we have day 1 focused on research, then days 2 through 4, we're going to be following tutorials put out by other artists here on YouTube. 5 and 6, we're going to be doing life studies out in the world. And then day 7 is kind of pulling it all together, seeing what I've learned and seeing how I can apply that to my art going forward. So since it is day 1, week 1, we're going to be doing research, and since this week is focused on clouds, let's go find some articles, some books, and see what we can learn about painting the sky and painting clouds.
Come a little bit closer. Hear what I
After reading a couple articles online, I found the same advice came up over and over of imagining clouds as these 3D geometric shapes with a bottom and then this big bulbous top to them. And so I practiced on a couple images, lining up the shapes and making them seem more three-dimensional to my mind.
Alright, it is day 2, so it's time to work on some tutorials. I went through earlier, looked on YouTube just like sky and cloud tutorials and saved a bunch of them to a playlist, so I think I'll probably go through at least 2 of them. They were all pretty quick, and see what we can learn, see what we can come up with.
When you are painting a cloud, you want to think of a sphere. That is very
Day 2 felt fairly productive. I followed 2 different tutorials off of YouTube. Both instructors had different methods on how to paint clouds and very different styles, but I felt like I still learned from both of them. As you can see here, the first one was a lot more painterly with big textured splotches. I actually liked it a lot more before I blended all of that texture out. The second one was supposed to be a lot more realistic, but I just don't think I quite understood how he got the blending that he did, and in the end, they were both fine, but I knew I had a lot of room for improvement. Over the course of the week, I found myself noticing the clouds a lot more. While on walks, I kept looking upwards and trying to figure out how the clouds worked, how the light hit them and gave them that depth.
Day 3, time for some more tutorials. I wasn't really happy with how they turned out yesterday, so I'm hoping today we can make some more progress and come up with something that I actually like.
Once again, the instructor had a very different method than the past tutorials I had followed, suggesting using a soft airbrush and adding all the colors in right away before attempting to blend them out. I found this method to be a lot more intuitive than the ones I experienced previously and felt myself getting into a bit of a rhythm. Days 4, 5, and 6 followed in pretty rapid succession with a lot more cloud observations, sketches, and drawings.
Okay, it is day 5 of the cloud lesson plan, which means we switch over now to doing life studies. It's actually really overcast today, so I don't know if it'll be great to actually go outside, but I'll look up some references and do some sketches and some artwork based off of those.
As I mentioned, day 5 was super overcast, so I used a reference for that day. But then the next day was actually pretty nice, so I just sat inside and looked out the window and drew the clouds that I saw. I think in the end, days 4, 6, and 7 ended up being my favorite drawings. Even though they're not perfect, I just love the way they turned out. Finally, it was day 7, the day to pull everything together that I had learned throughout the week and just create something. And honestly, I feel like I learned a lot. The way lighting works in a cloud is just fascinating, and I feel like I could study it for a long time without becoming an expert.
Okay, and that's it. This was the final day of Cloud Week. Overall, I think it's been a good week. I definitely noticed an improvement from the beginning of the week. I did some drawings I'm really happy with, and I'm excited with the improvements I've made, so that's great. Next week, we'll be focusing on forests and trees in particular. They're so complicated, and so it's something I've definitely been nervous about drawing in the past, so I'm excited to tackle that. Anyway, I hope to see you guys next week. Thank you for joining me on my art journey, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!